Many Kansas communities are looking for ways to attract new visitors to their towns. Here on Positively Kansas, we've shown how cities like Salina and Cheney are embracing attention-getting murals, hoping to give tourists a reason to stop and look. Clay Center in Northeast Kansas is taking that idea to a whole new level, freshening up its image with the help of the artist's brush. Old, paint-faded walls are the new canvases for artists to give new life to old local stories through murals.
I think it helps bring more life to the old buildings here, because a lot of them were unpainted and stuff on the walls of them, so it helps get them repainted.
Driving into Clay Center on Highway K-15 from the south, one can hardly miss this mural on the Suther Feeds Mill, formerly known as Key Feeds Mill.
A lot of detail, and it's so tall.
More on this mural coming up. This is just one of the 30 murals in Clay Center and neighboring towns. This is what the town calls a mural movement. All the town's murals started from a simple idea that took on a life of its own.
The idea for the mural movement started back in 2019. Our Rotary Club here in Clay Center does a project each year where the president of the club gets to choose the particular project, and I was the president back in 2019, 2020, that lovely time frame back when COVID was around. And our main project was to install one mural.
This Sunflower State of Mind mural was that first mural idea. The artist featuring the state flower, the wild sunflower, and state bird, the western meadowlark. It's easily seen on a building across from the courthouse square. And though this was the first mural idea, it wasn't the first to be painted here. This actually became the 25th mural by the time it was completed.
That one mural kind of snowballed, if you will, into over 30 today.
Clay Center started first with a simple greetings mural.
Our first mural was kind of a postcard style mural, greetings from Clay Center.
The bright red color base stands out over the otherwise drab colored wall. The artists shown in this time-lapse video portray in the lettering both the rural Kansas setting in Clay County and the animals in the town's zoo.
But this one, they're beautiful. They enhance Clay Center.
Just the enthusiasm we received from that and the donations just poured in, we kind of realized we might be onto something, and we just kind of kept designing more and more and more. And I would say just the overwhelming generosity and enthusiasm from our Clay Center community, really, the credit goes out to them.
The greetings mural was being painted while at the same time another artist was collecting old Kansas license plates for a mural representing the K-15 highway going through town. Artist William Counter of Chapman used 200 license plates to bring this mural to life. Like all the other artists, Counter has signature murals in other Kansas communities.
What we think is unique about Clay Center is, we're like a lot of small towns across Kansas, but what we think is unique with our mural situation is, to have 25, 30 murals in really a town our size is really unique, and most of them are walkable in our downtown district.
Clay Center is a town of 4,300 in the 2020 census. It's the county seat of Clay County, population just over 8,000. The downtown is centered around its courthouse square. And though there isn't a large population to draw from, Hubka says local residents and former residents are very supportive of these projects with donations to hire artists. But in the beginning, Hubka says artists wouldn't even return their calls.
When the project first started, it was really difficult to get an artist willing to come to Clay Center. We knew that we wanted to hire a professional artist to get the one mural done. And we reached out to maybe a dozen artists across the state and got told no several times.
He says many artists ghosted them at first, avoiding all contact. So, Hubka says committee members reached out to artists who had painted murals in Abilene, 36 miles to the south of Clay Center. Whitney Kerr III of Kansas City painted this Abilene mural inspired from a vintage postcard as well as this train mural celebrating the cattle trains when Abilene was the railhead for the Texas cattle drives. William Counter of Chapman painted the large mural of Wild Bill Hickok, Abilene's famed town marshal during Abilene's cattle drive era. Counter painted the Kansas Stamp mural in Clay Center.
We thought if they were willing to do a mural in Abilene, maybe they'd consider doing it in Clay Center, and they did.
And once those artists painted murals in Clay Center, it seemed to open the doors to get other artists interested in doing artwork here.
Since then, we've had artists from 7 different states, and we've actually had artists from across the country that have wanted to come to Clay Center, including one from Virginia that wants to paint a mural in all 50 states. So we've even had somebody from overseas that has wanted to come to Clay Center. So it's kind of become a destination not only for tourists, but for artists as well.
It's as if the floodgates open. Now, there are several themes represented in the Clay Center murals.
But there's really something for about everyone.
Clay Center is near enough to Junction City and Fort Riley, giving the town a military influence.
Fort Riley's not very far from here, and we have the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima atop Mount Suribachi, which is a really neat one for, which brings out a lot of the patriotism.
This mural's message that freedom isn't free. Such patriotism and support of veterans fits in with any Kansas community.
We are an agriculture town, like much of rural Kansas, and we wanted our murals to represent that.
That agricultural heritage points back to the Feeds Mill mural. This is titled Bucolic America, with the artists depicting the more pleasant aspects of the countryside and rural life. 5 artists, 3 from Kansas City, 1 from Denver, and 1 from Los Angeles painted this.
If you see it in person, you wouldn't believe that a person or persons could paint that.
The painting of the Bucolic America mural captured a fair amount of attention in this northeast Kansas region. Area newspapers and Topeka television did stories on the artist's progress. Artists use what's called the squiggle grid, doodle grid technique to upscale their mural artwork from a smaller design format to the much larger walls. The technique enables artists to paint such large murals with the subjects rightly sized. Time-lapse video shows artist Christian Stanley of Florida turning this Clay Center wall into the Sunflower State of Mind mural. The mural is more than 2,000 square feet in size. The Carnegie Library opened in 1912. In 2021, artists painted the title mural Windows to Literacy. It turned a plain wall on a building next to the library into a bookshelf of some of the most well-known, acclaimed historic books. It sort of becomes a billboard for the library's location. The Avery Auto Parts store has murals on 2 outdoor walls. These murals help viewers relive the town's past. This building used to house the local Coca-Cola bottling plant, back in the days when cola bottling was franchised to smaller towns. This photo shows the bottling works in 1912. That building no longer stands, but the mural preserves its image on the building where the bottling plant had expanded operations, where auto parts are now sold. The mural, showing a couple in a mid-60s Mustang, is titled Along the Highway to Anywhere. Tracy Lebo, retired Clay Center High School art teacher, is the artist. This is one of the newer murals completed in late 2023. Around the corner is a mural titled Classics, depicting a 1950s-era full-service gasoline station. Younger generations of the self-service times haven't likely experienced an attendant washing the windshield while filling up the tank and checking under the hood and tire pressure. So indeed, murals can have historic stories to tell, besides adding artistic beauty to the sides of buildings. 31 cents a gallon for regular was standard fare back then, if not 2 or 3 cents a gallon higher than other places and times.
Yeah, it's just a great thing, and it's been great for the community, that's for sure.
Are people talking about them?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
What are they saying?
Well, they just enjoy just seeing all of them, and just driving around town and just looking at all of them. And
What has it meant for business?
I believe it's helped. I think it gets people, down this way. We're kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but
I think it's cool. It's something that has drawn a lot of people to Clay Center just to come, just look. Lawrence, what he did here at the auto parts is probably two of my most favorite ones because I'm an old car guy.
I like a lot of them.
Ginger Walker, owner of Ginger's Uptown, a large Clay Center boutique, says the murals are good for business.
The summertime is huge for murals, and that because people bring their friends, girlfriend day, family day, and they walk around and do all the fun stuff. And yeah, people love them. They go get the maps, or you can do the QR code on the building and pull it up on your phone and go look around. But we get a lot of people in the store a lot of people that are looking at the murals, and we get a lot of people that are in the store that maybe don't even know about them and see them and ask about them.
Well, I think it's exciting when you're the size of our town that you can invite people to come visit, and I think it's unique to have so many places across the county that encourages people to see not just the downtown but other parts of our nice little community.
And yet, with 30 murals completed, the town wants more.
We are not done yet. We do have one more big one in the works. There's a big CVA steel grain bin right here near downtown, and we've got a design for it, and we just got a little fundraising yet to do for that one, but we anticipate that one to get wrapped up here in the spring of 2024.
Hubka says with more than 30 murals in Clay County, there is something to interest every visitor. And still, there's no shortage of buildings with blank walls just waiting to become the next canvases for mural artists. In Clay Center for Positively Kansas, this is Chris Frank reporting.